Well, howdy, mugs, and welcome to Cereal at Midnight. This is Noirvember here, and we're going to talk about some recent noir pickups that I added to my collection. They came in like hell on wheels. I can't even keep it going. Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Cereal at Midnight. I am Heath, and in this episode, we answer the question, can I talk about a topic without cosplaying it? The answer is no, I cannot. Noir is the topic at hand, and I have 5 titles in my hands that come from Kino Lorber's recent sale that just ended in October. It was their Rocktober sale. We already talked. I placed 2 orders during the sale. The first one we covered in a video. It's my Kino Lorber sale haul. We covered that. I went back. I dipped, and I dipped again. I went back for another trip to the sale. And I got 5 titles. 4 of them are noir, and I thought this would be a really good opportunity to talk about, because it's Noirvember as I'm recording this video. This is when all the cool cats and kitties watch the noir offerings, because noir and November seem to go together. I think that's why we do it, because it's an easy pun, and we can hashtag it. I'm not sure why. I watch noir all year round. Starting out grumpy. Okay, here are the 5 movies. So we'll save the non-noir one for the end. But I picked up The Crooked Way, which is a John Payne noir film. Now, John Payne is in a lot of great lower budget noir films. Lower budget and noir films kind of go hand in hand. Like that's a double negative. Is that the word? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. John Payne, most recognizable probably to a lot of audiences as the male lead in Miracle on 34th Street. Not Santa Claus, the other male lead. Santa's a pretty big part of that movie, but that's not who I'm talking about. He's the guy that's, he's the good, like, kind of a father figure. He's kind of a romantic figure anyway. Miracle on 34th Street is where he was like, that's what we remember him from, but he was in a lot of noir as well. So, The Crooked Way, I am adding to my collection. None of these are new, by the way. None of these titles are new. These are just in the sale, so they're new for me. But one of the things that I was tremendously excited about with this is that cinematography by John Alton. John Alton is, of course, one of the probably, when you start handing out titles to people like the best of all time, that's tricky. But he is an outstanding noir cinematographer. Just cinematographer in general, but his noir work, the way they would say, he painted with lights, the way he would cast the shadows, long looks down the street, and then the perspectives, and then the shadows, and he would have it lit so that those shadows would be like 20 feet tall. Master at cinematography. So there are no special features here, but the movie itself with John Payne and shot by John Alton. That's enough for me, Buster. That's right. See, let me tell you something, pal. Someday this deal's gonna come through your door. You're gonna spring on it, but it's gonna be the one that springs on you because you don't know what you're getting into. That's right, Johnny. You don't know. I like noir. House by the River. Hey, it's a noir film with river in the title. Take a shot. Louis Hayward, Lee Bowman, Jane Wyatt. Directed by Fritz Lang. Did he do anything else? Of course, Fritz Lang is a fantastic filmmaker. Metropolis, among so many other things. But, it's so interesting how these guys would come. Oh, Heath, don't make this video 20 minutes long. It's interesting these guys would come and they'd fall within, a certain system, and they're not doing their landmark, groundbreaking work, but they can't not be who they are, right? These films may be less studyable than some of the more iconic things, but I don't know. So I like studying these directors, especially when they get off the beaten path and they get into genre pictures like this. It's a 1950 film. It is directed by Fritz Lang. I'm trying to see if there are any other notable people that we want to shout out, like the screenwriter or anything like that. I don't think that we need to. Mel Donnelly. I don't think we need to talk about that. We got an audio commentary by film historian Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, and an interview with celebrated producer and historian Pierre Ricient, and trailers. Brand new 2K restoration. The Crooked Way is not a restoration. It says newly remastered in HD, so I guess it is. But it's not like, it doesn't say 2K, so I guess maybe they did a fresh 1080p scan on it. You know, like, was that a 1K scan? I don't know, but all right, that's the first two. I don't walk with the crowd. I walk alone. Burt Lancaster, legend. Elizabeth Scott, legend. And Kirk Douglas. Directed by Byron Haskin. I'm just handing out legends now. So this is a 1947 film. Brand new HD master from a 4K scan of the 35mm safety dupe negative by Paramount Pictures Archive. That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen that kind of a credit. They'll say like 4K restoration. Someone in the comments recently, who was it? I think it was Dennis Atherton, on the video with JB, the Universal Monsters in 4K video, was saying they rarely disclose the sources of restorations. This does, and it says that it's where it's 35mm safety dupe negative by Paramount Pictures Archive. I don't hear a lot about Paramount Pictures Archive. Interesting. What year is this release? I don't see a year on this release. I'm going to have to do some further research. Anyway, we have an audio commentary by film historian Troy Hoarth and Kino Lorber trailers. 1947. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This has been in my cart for years. Every single time there's a sale, this ends up in my cart. But because there are so many Kino Lorber titles, you know, they release upwards of a couple of dozen new titles every single month just under the Studio Classics banner. It tends to fall out. It just gets pushed further and further down. But this sale, I was like, no, now is the time. Because I don't want this to go out of print and to miss out on this. So anyway, grab this too. Anybody we need to talk about here based upon the original play, Beggars Are Coming to Town by Theodore Reeves. Screenplay by Charles Schnee. Looking for the cinematographer. I don't see the cinematographer. Okay, well. Last noir film, Pitfall. I could have sworn that I had this, but I can't find it anywhere. So if I do find it again, this goes in the prize box. But I think that I didn't. Maybe I have a DVD around here somewhere. Anyway, Dick Powell and again Elizabeth Scott. She's noir royalty, right? She's, those of you who know, you know. Like, oh yeah, Elizabeth Scott. With Raymond Burr, the man who would be Perry Mason. This is 1948, so we are pre-Perry Mason here. And Jane Wyatt again. Which one of these was Jane Wyatt? And she was just in House by the River. So this is a Samuel Bischoff movie, 1948. We got an audio commentary by film historian Eddie Muller. Is he thin? The joke has worn thin. Okay, Eddie Muller is, of course, the authority on film noir. He's written multiple books. I think I have several copies of some of his books. He is the noir authority, so when he shows up for a commentary, you listen. Andre de Toth, great stuff here, all around. So if I do have this already, you know, I've just affirmed my buying habits by buying it again, but check it out. Hey guys, let's do some noir recommendations in the comments of this video. For people that don't know a lot about noir, we'll tell them what to watch. The one noir picture that the non-noir picture that I picked up is No Time for Love, because it's Fred McMurray and Claudette Colbert, who I have kind of fallen in love with a little bit, I think. I have discovered, knew about her, but had not really... Okay, you guys know sometimes you watch a movie and it's got like older actors and stuff, and you're like, oh, that person, yeah. But then later you see another movie by that person, and then another movie by that person, and all of a sudden that person is on your radar in a big way. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. That happened to me with Claudette Colbert, because I've seen several of her movies, but like all at one time I ended up watching Torch Singer, and there was another one that came out recently from Kino Lorber, and I ended up watching that one, and I was like, I really like Claudette Colbert. Because I think what it was is I got to see the range. I got to see that it wasn't just a comedy. Like, this is a romantic comedy, right? By the way, Fred McMurray, pretty jacked. I know that's a piece of art. I think he's shirtless on the back of the cover, too. So if you only know Fred McMurray from The Absent-Minded Professor from Disney and My Three Sons, there's a young, studly Fred McMurray from 1943. Another actor that I feel like just could do anything. All right, anyway, this has got an audio commentary by film critic Nick Pinkerton. This is a more recent release. I think this was a 2021 release, but it flew under my... For some reason, I didn't get it, but I have rectified that. So, audio commentary by film critic Nick Pinkerton. This is directed by Claude Binion. Anybody else we need to shout out here? I don't think so. All right, that's going to do. That's my second and final Rocktober sale haul. As always... Cereal at Midnight is so in tune to what Kino Lorber is doing, especially with the Studio Classics line. That's where my heart is. That's where my heart is in those Studio Classics. Just stuff from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, but especially 30s to 60s. That's my real passion, and Kino Lorber is so tuned into that. So it's a joy to talk about this stuff. Anytime, every time. Guys, thank you so much. Have a happy Noirvember. Let's talk about, as I was saying, let's talk about some recommendations for noir in the comments below, in case people don't know where to begin. Don't even know what they see the hashtags, but they don't know what it means. They don't know, like, well, where would I even start? Let's curate some recommendations for them, starting with these. Guys, thanks so much. Take care until next time. Here's where to go and what to do.